2 of Pods
in the key, Springfield.
Today we are looking at Season 5, Episode 10, Dollar Pringfield. And Season 5, Episode 11, Homer, the Vigilante.
Yes, the Vigilante?
The ant that lights a candle and mourns the ill.
What's the ill? I feel like you're...
My idea of what a vigil is off slightly. No,
I feel like you were going to go harder on that and come down to the ill.
I was. My favorite memory of a vigil is when Pope John Paul II was sick. And there was something on TV about, like, there was a huge vigil outside the Vatican because old mate was sick.
Yep.
And then, you know, how Australian news services, they always have to find an Australian angle on a story like that.
Sure.
And so they're like, and some people from a school in Sydney South happen to be on a school excursion to Italy. What? That doesn't happen. And then it cuts to a bunch of school kids, like year 10, year 11, so 15, 16, 17, that age, school kids, all in their, like, little private school uniforms, sitting in a ring outside the Vatican while one of the kids plays Wonderwall on guitar. And it's great because, like, obviously, the news used the bit of them singing, because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. But...
because after all, you're Pope John Paul.
Oh, fuck. Imagine. Because after all, you're Pope John Paul. That's a much better payoff than what I had planned, which was just to mock some school children. Fuck, that's so good.
God, should we rewrite Wonderwall so it's about the death of the Pope?
Yeah, possibly. Fuck. Come on, brain.
See, today is going to be the day that the Pope is going to go back to you, referring to God.
Oh, we're singing to God in this, are we?
Well, I don't know.
No, I reckon the first line is, today is going to be the day that they have to refit the papal shoes. By now, you should have somehow realised which colour smoke will do. Which colour smoke will do. Fuck, how does Wonderwall go?
I don't really think that anybody feels the way I do about you now. That's the next line to...
Sure.
I don't think that's how it goes exactly, but...
I don't believe that anybody can be the guardian of the shroud without you now. Oh, Jesus.
That's the end of the podcast. We got 2019 off to some start. You know, the thing is... when that particular Pope was dying...
but after all, just use a cardinal.
When that particular Pope was passing,
yeah,
we had a contingency from our school at the Vatican as well.
Did we?
We did.
Who the fuck?
I distinctly recall there was a bunch of kids from our school at the Vatican.
Why did we...
I think they also did a vigil for the Pope.
Can I just point out that we went to a non-Catholic school? Hello, PlayStation. We went to a non-Catholic school. What were we doing sending kids to the Vatican?
Just going to visit the Pope, I guess.
Pope voting process.
Pumping in on Pope.
Conclave. That's the word I was trying to find. Papal conclave. Today is gonna be the day that the papal conclave's for you. Something like, well, yeah, we'll keep working on this.
Okay, by now you should have somehow seen that the smoke was blue.
I mean, it's white and black smoke.
Okay.
When the vote, I think it's white if there's black if there's no vote, and white if it's a unanimous vote.
Okay. And blue if it's a boy. Which it always has been.
Pope gender reveal parties. The most monotonous celebration of all time. It's a boy again. Fucking hell. Someone comes out on the big balcony in front of fucking whatever it is, St. Peter's Square or the Basilica or whatever it is, standing out in the balcony, just pops a balloon that's full of blue confetti and everyone's like, we fucking know.
This is the first time we've recorded in about a month. I thought, I was a little worried we might have lost our spark, but no, we still know exactly how to talk about The Simpsons.
Anyway, this has been Popes in the Key of Springfield.
Fuck me. So this is Dollar Pringfield.
Dollar Pringfield.
Which I believe had the subtitle, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Legalized Gambling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That didn't appear on the DVD menu.
No, too long. Too many words.
Too many words.
Yeah. DVD technology from the mid-2000s, they couldn't handle that many words.
DVD.
Only so much space on the disc.
Just rolls off the tongue nicely, doesn't it? DVD.
DVD.
How much space is on it? I feel like once upon a time I knew that. Is it a...
It's about 7 gig, I think.
7?
Or maybe like 6.6 or something. It's around there.
Was this in the era of dual layer DVDs where they doubled the capacity?
That might be the doubled capacity.
Yeah, right, cool. So it's not quite the 1.44 megabytes of a small floppy disk.
No, Nick.
And it's not quite that, no.
No. It's more than that.
Do you ever occasionally just randomly test your devices for backwards compatibility by jamming defunct storage media into them?
Sure.
When's the last time you stuck a 1.44 megabyte floppy into a CD drive?
Well, first thing when I got here, remember?
Hey, do you remember that that wild time in the late 90s where every smart tech head, and I put so many scare quotes around all of that, everyone's younger cousin who was into computers had a program on their computer that was called coffeecup.exe, and it came up with a dialog box that says, "Do you want a coffee cup holder?" And you say yes, and then it spits out the CD tray.
Oh man, I just wish we could go back to those halcyon days.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now I have to bloody get a bloody app for that, don't I? And it's just a picture of a coaster, and you put your bloody cup on your bloody phone there.
Nick, it's just, these millennials.
Oh, don't even get me started on the millennials. No,
they're just so smart and ahead of the curve.
I know, right? Yeah. Oh, it's just crazy.
They're just having so much sex, and they're so cool. And
I mean, the thing I find...
They won't invite me to their parties.
The thing I find infuriating about the millennials is, when we were younger, we rebelled. But now they're rebelling in a slightly different way, and I don't perceive it as rebelling, James, because it's actually threatening the structure that I'm comfortable in. You don't rebel by threatening the structure. Imagine.
Nick, I think sometimes we had, Johnny Ho, Bob Cash, the other one, Steve Jobs, I guess.
Johnny Hope, Bob Cash. Fucking A. Okay.
So this episode of The Simpsons.
So this is the one where they build the Mr. Burns casino.
Yeah.
Starts off with some excellent old-timey footage.
Yep.
I really enjoy the old-school newsreel.
I enjoy any sort of old-timey news thing. It's fun.
It is.
There's a scene of a family watching news footage of a train approaching the screen, and they all get quite frightened, just like the arrival of a train by the Lumiere brothers.
Yes, because that was one of the first...
Yeah, it was 1899, I think, that came out.
And that's the one, I remember learning about that at some point, and, people were so terrified they got up and ran out of the cinema. I'm like, no, they fucking didn't. But apparently that's a well-reported thing. But surely that's bullshit.
It's complete bullshit.
Yeah,
but what I'm wondering, Nick, is that, when you saw that film, though, because you're not so familiar with cinema... when you saw it, you leapt up and ran off crying because you thought a train was going to crash into your living room.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
But that's for my own very personal reasons.
Yeah.
I thought that, the old-timies were better than that.
Yeah, those halcyon days.
Those halcyon days, exactly. Those halcyon Lumiere brothers. But, by the way, is that a stage name by them? Because Lumiere is French for light, right?
Yeah, they invented light.
Yeah, I know, but
they were the original light camera Jacksons.
What the fuck? That's outstanding. No, but you could regard, if you wanted, cinema as the art of painting with light.
Sure, yes.
If you wanted to.
Yep.
And their surname is Light.
Yes.
and they did one of the first films.
Yes.
That's outstanding. That's like if the world's first bass player was called Bom 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 Bom. You'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? That's amazing. What a wonderful coincidence. It's like an ice cream man called Cone. To steal from Kramer.
Yeah, I mean...
I enjoy Professor Rubbermouth, a man that has 5 billiard balls in his mouth.
Yep. Well, is that just what his teeth look like, or is that
Oh, that's an interesting spin.
He's just shoving balls in his mouth?
I think he's just shoveling balls in his mouth. What's the maximum number of billiard balls you've had in your mouth at any one time?
25.
25, that's quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you'd excel past... Do you mean like little mini kids' toy ones, or do you mean big boy ones? You're done with the headphones?
I'm done with the headphones. I'm taking off the headphones. I like to have you just hear my own voice.
Was it because every time I did something like put down my cup or whatever, you were getting incensed at how much noise you were hearing?
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine? All right.
We were talking about billiard balls in my mouth. Well, as you know, I've got 6 in there right now.
Are you like the Oral-B guy? Do you just sort of like hyperextend your jaw to an obtuse
like
angle?
the Oral-B guy, yeah.
Yeah, you know, the little guy that looks like Lunig, but with better politics and dental hygiene.
Yeah. Are you sure of the Oral-B guy's politics? Have you talked to him about how he feels about
I haven't, actually.
About same-sex marriage?
I haven't. I don't know if Oral-B...
That'd be a real twist in that advertising campaign.
I don't know if Oral-B put out a stance on the same-sex marriage debate.
No, that particular brand of toothpaste I don't think weighs in on many political issues.
Well, you know, everyone needs a toothbrush.
Yeah, I mean, their whole policy of making teeth whiter, I don't know.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I also enjoy that after the old-timey news footage, Abe and Jasper, I believe it is.
Yep.
So this is what, back in the 40s? Is that when we're meant to believe this is?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, around there, 40s, 50s. They walk back out on the street and they talk about how, you know...
The streets are paved with gold.
Streets are paved with gold. They walk past a vinegar parlour, which I enjoyed.
A vinegar parlour?
Instead of an ice cream parlour. It looked like what we would associate an ice cream parlour, but it just said vinegar parlour on the sign. Which
Don't we find out in the very next episode that Abe was once full of vinegar?
Yes.
We'll get to that.
I know. And it's interesting because how long has that vinegar been processing through his system? Or... Yeah. Was that not actually a flashback? And did, once again, we get to Omelette Egg Flip. And he went from 1940s Springfield to 1993 Springfield.
Interesting. I've got some egg flip questions about the next episode. There might be some there's some stuff going on here, certainly.
And then when it snaps back to real time, or perhaps when the omelette continues to fold, they walk past a cinema that is showing a movie called Sperms of Endearment.
Sperms of Endearment.
Which I thought was... a bit gross, frankly, but anyway.
Now, Terms of Endearment, is that a James L. Brooks film? Why am I asking you? I don't know. You're not going to know.
What? No, I don't know.
I think it might have been James L. Brooks' 1983 debut. All of that could be wrong. I don't know. I've never seen any films by James L. Brooks, but he worked on The Simpsons.
I guess the thing is, and the thing that our listeners need to realise, is that we literally have no way of knowing.
Yeah. We are, you know... Is it good when we just talk like this? You know, no phones. You know, you download your Coaster app and... okay, here's my question. We were talking about politics a moment ago, so this is vaguely relevant.
Sure.
The Simpsons has a confusing stance on social services as a general...
Sure.
As a general rule. Like, you know, in this episode we have an unemployment epidemic. But then we also have...
Is that part of the economic...
The economic downturn, yes. Economic downturn, certainly a part of this. But we see Abe and Jasper going into social services, and we hear Abe declare, "I'm old, gimme, gimme, gimme."
Sure.
Is it... The Simpsons seems to have a difficult relationship with the idea of old people getting a pension.
It is strange, isn't it?
This is not the first time there's been something like that.
No,
in this show.
Because Abe said previously, I didn't earn it, I don't need it, but if they ever stop it, there'll be held pay or something along those lines.
There's quite a few references to Abe, a man who is shown as like living in a very bad situation, not needing or deserving any welfare.
Yeah, I don't.
Which is weird because the rest of the episode is about like the dangers of gambling and like how the economy can be destroyed by things like it's weird. It's a weird little thing.
It's a tricky one because on the one hand, it's very easy to say, that they're making specific comments about Abe's relationship with, welfare payments or whatever.
Yeah.
But when there's no counterpoint that I can easily identify in the series, then it does make you go, well, what is exactly the stance that the writers are putting forward?
What are the politics of The Simpsons?
Or, in fact, the Oral-B guy, little old mate character.
Yeah. If we could... Do you reckon we could get him on the podcast?
Excellent question.
What was that guy's name? Did he have a name? He was this Oral-B man?
I believe his name was 9 out of 10 dentists.
Okay.
Because
Do
then
you think anyone's done a oral history of that ad?
They're all very good. But no, I think it's a little bit like, there's that schoolyard rumour that McDonald's set up a company called 100% Australian so that they can say 100% Australian beef. I think it's a little bit like that. That little character in the toothbrush ad was called 9 out of 10 dentists so that then they can say 9 out of 10 dentists recommend.
Yes, that kids eat Weet-Bix.
Yes.
Yes. Do you remember that ad? I think I've talked about it on the podcast before.
Was it 9 out of 10 nutritionists?
Yeah, 9 out of 10 nutritionists
that's
recommend.
Right.
Kids eat Weet-Bix.
That was a sentence that was spliced together from several audio grabs. If you're wondering what the James's intonation was all about there.
Yes. Because I was always amused by the one kid who said recommend very deeply. I think I've talked about that on this podcast.
Recommend.
Obviously, I've already run out of things. New things are not happening to me, so I just have to keep pulling from old stories.
This is all very true.
Yes, very true. So we get to Henry Kissinger, who has lost his glasses. He dropped them in a pisser.
Nobody must know I dropped them in the toilet.
Yeah, this episode swings pretty hard against Kissinger.
Yes.
Which seems like a fair thing to do.
Yeah, I don't really know anything about Kissinger or his history.
I have this sort of vague knowledge of the idea that Kissinger's a dirtbag, but I can't remember the specifics.
A teenage dirtbag?
Baby.
I enjoy the second mention of Kissinger is Kurt Brockman? Kent Brockman saying Henry Kissinger was hospitalized after walking into a wall.
I don't think that was Kent Brockman. That was that other news anchor.
Scott Rayner, the original drummer from Blink-182.
Okay. Is that who that was?
I think Scott Rayner, from the original drummer from Blink-182, is indeed the news reporter in the B-roll news reporter. But anyway,
was he just a teenage dirtbag? Maybe.
Possibly. I mean, they had to kick him out of the band because he couldn't function due to alcoholism. So,
okay.
Take that however you like it. But how hard do you have to walk into a wall to be hospitalised?
Yeah, pretty hard, I would think.
Like, that's sprinting into a wall.
That's just him not wearing his glasses as well, because Homer's fucked off with them.
Yeah.
And now he knows about triangles.
Yeah. Yes. That was what struck me. How hard do you have to walk into a wall to get hospitalised after it? Quite hard, I imagine.
Harder than the thought struck you. You would need to be struck by the wall.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
It's weird.
Yes.
Kissinger, fucking watch out.
Watch out.
Nick, we got to get less political on this podcast, we got to, be more inclusive of people of all sorts of beliefs.
No.
No, you're right. Fuck everyone.
Hey, I'm barely inclusive of people with my beliefs. It's not entirely true. Quite an easygoing person, really.
Well.
Fuck.
So eventually we get a town meeting about the economic downturn in Springfield. Nobody's got any money. Nobody's got any work. I'm looking for a new job at the moment. It's pretty difficult.
Can I blow your mind with a theory? This could combine two of our theories into one. Is it, in fact, an economic downturn?
An economic downturn? You're just sitting there doodling on your page. You're very casual, like, I got a theory. It's the economic downturn.
I think you'll find it's the economic downturn.
Okay, tell me about your economic downturn theory.
Well, I think that possibly due to the omelette egg flip universe, which...
established in previous episodes for anyone just joining us now.
It could always be someone's first.
And this the 52nd episode of Pods in the Key of Springfield.
It could always be someone's first, so I'll very quickly say, go do the research by listening to several hours of our content.
And use protection.
I mean, I know our podcast can get pretty sexy from time to time, but I don't think it goes quite to that extent.
That's maybe the first time anyone will have ever described this podcast as sexy.
That's a really good point. But is it possible that due to the overlapping timelines that exist within the town of Springfield, then we end up getting basically a lot of money disappearing into the other timeline, contributing to...
Do you think there's been like somebody's funneling money out of one timeline into the other?
Possibly
where the streets are paved with gold, as seen earlier in the episode?
Exactly where the streets are paved with gold.
Exactly, did you say?
Oh, fuck. This goes deeper than I thought, James.
Okay, well,
yes.
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair thing to assume.
Yeah, I don't think we need to... I don't think I need to invent any further story around this because I've clocked it.
People really
Sandy.
just sort of jump in these town meetings in Springfield. You know, people just sort of talk whenever they want to, don't they?
Have you ever been to a town meeting?
Of course not.
Have you ever run excitedly, arms askew, out of a town hall?
Run arms askew out of a town hall?
Yeah.
What? No.
Like every town meeting in Springfield ends with people running... arms flailing.
Go and fuck in the town square?
To go and... Well, I mean...
Essentially in this one, that's what's happening.
In this specific incident. But generally, not all the meetings end in town square fuckings. Just some of them do. But everyone always runs out, arms in the air, very happy.
Cheering and shouting.
I've never run out of a town hall cheering and shouting.
No, me neither. I don't think I've ever walked at anything faster than an ambling gait inside a town hall.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ambling Gate is your kind of standard speed, I think.
Yeah, that's my film production company as well, Ambling Gate.
Ambling Gate's a good name for a film.
Yes.
Company. Production company. In the film production company, is it GATE or GAIT?
It doesn't matter.
Well, I think it does.
No, that's part of our policy. You just spell it however you want. It's more of a philosophy, a thought, a feeling.
Ambling Gate, GATE, sounds like a place, whereas Ambling Gate, GAIT, is a descriptor of a walk.
I don't know, I was really just riffing on the fact that Steven Spielberg had a production company called Amblin for a long time. I don't know, I didn't really think about it beyond that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Diddy Kong.
P. Diddy.
Sure.
Bad Boys for Life.
That's us.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah, we ain't go in nowhere.
We ain't going nowhere.
Going nowhere. We can't be stopped now. Because it's Bad Boys for Life.
Okay. A song that is definitely not about the Pope. So they built a casino.
We ain't poping nowhere.
No,
we
stop.
Ain't poping nowhere.
We can't keep doing this.
We can't be stopped now. Because we're Catholic for life.
I don't know what percentage of our listenership we lose. Every episode, there's always one joke. I'm like, I don't know if that's going to go over well with everyone. But I feel okay about it. Because, you know, we have actual ethics that are guiding our lives.
Wait, is the implication there that joke was unethical?
No, I don't think it was.
Right, okay, cool.
This is how I justify our bullshit to myself, though.
Okay, sure.
Like, no, I live by actual principles, and there are things I would not say or joke about, and this is not one of them.
Wow, that was great. For a moment, I was like, fuck, swinging hard against this silly little Pope joke. Tremendous.
What was I going to say? Gambling. Australia has a real gambling problem, so this episode's very interesting to me, an Australian in Australia.
Yes.
Watching it. Because it swings pretty hard against gambling as a concept, kind of.
We've talked before about the endemic nature of gambling in Australian culture. Like, it's just fused in there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that this happens in the States, but there might be countries where this doesn't happen. But we will literally... in the lead up to a sporting event, you'll cut to a special reporter whose job is to tell you what the current gambling odds are.
Yeah.
And those odds will change throughout the day. And you keep cutting back to this guy in a three-piece suit who's like, oh, well, it's going well for the...
Atlanta Falcons.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of any of either of the teams.
Yeah.
You know... and
we have fairly relaxed pokies laws. There are pokies everywhere.
Poker machines.
And you can... What's the maximum you can spend on one spin? Is it like $6?
Probably. I didn't know there was a
I think it differs between states as well. I feel like we're actually a little stricter in South Australia than they are in other states.
Yeah, partly because we did have that one politician who ran on a no poker machines platform for a long time. So he may have done... He may have done stuff to tighten up the regulations a bit, but
Yeah, so this episode is kind of about Marge becoming a gambling addict. I got some stuff I'm going to gripe with, but we'll get to that eventually.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to talk about Burns crippling an Irishman. That's fun.
Yeah, you enjoyed that.
Yeah,
You
it's one of
laughed at
those
that
things where
almost
the moment I realized what was about to happen, this episode is fucking stacked. There is so much going on.
It is thickly packed.
By my count, there are 4 separate major plot lines running through this episode, all of which tie together at the end.
Yes.
We got the plot of Mr. Burns building a casino and going crazy.
Yes.
We've got Marge becoming addicted to gambling.
Yes.
We've got Lisa having this problem where she needs to build a costume.
Yeah.
And just having problems at home. And then we've got Bart running his own casino.
Yeah.
And then we have Homer just flitting between all 4 of these things. Well, 3 of them really, not really the Bart one. Just, being an adventurous, puckish little scamp. Getting his shit done out there. And it's good. This episode is densely plotted, and I like it a lot. Kind of caught me by surprise how much I like this one.
Yeah. It is good, I think.
It's also an episode that just throws a lot of shit at the wall. Like when Burns is gonna open this casino, we get a little montage of people pitching him casino designs. I'm watching this thinking, this is not a typical way of doing business, is it? Just inviting strangers into your power plant to pitch designs for a building?
Especially, like...
When you just get, like, an architect to design it?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that there are processes of putting things out to tender where you'll say, this is what I want, and you might get 3 or 4 architect companies that come back.
Yeah.
Tends not to be people like Captain Kevin McAllister from Home Alone, who rocked up with the wrong brief.
Or just some British guy who's designed a British-themed casino for some reason.
For some reason.
Yeah.
I do enjoy freshen up your drink, Governor. I've said that to several people if I'm hosting parties.
Yeah, me too.
Sometimes while wearing a Union Jack mini dress.
So eventually Burnsy, he gets this casino. He's casinoing around. And we see these 2 performers, these 2 magicians performing with
the flamboyant magic of Gunther and Ernst.
Yes. And they're performing with a tiger, tiger burning bright in the forest of the night. What beleaguered hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? They've got this tiger gallivanting around.
That's not the tiger poem.
Isn't it?
No. There's the other one that's heaps better.
Baby, you're a tiger work?
No. It's the one we love.
Oh, yes. Yes. The tiger is out.
Yeah. Fucking, what's that? Kid tiger poem.
Kid tiger poem.
The tiger, he destroyed his cage. Yes. The tiger is out.
Perfect poem.
It's so good. Thank you, Nail, age 6.
Here's my question, though. We see a little flashback. We see these magicians driving around their little buggy, tiger hunting. And they shoot this tiger. They bring him back. Why did the magicians have to hunt their own tiger?
Oh, that's an interesting one.
That's not a typical part of the relationship, is it?
I mean, they are quite flamboyant. It is in their show title. And perhaps they decided, well, you know what? We've gone through hundreds of... what are the black and white ones? Sumatran tigers? Whatever.
Possibly.
Bengal. We've gone through hundreds of Bengal tigers, and none of them have had the flamboyancy that we require.
Yes.
We're going to go on a hunt and find the most flamboyantly furred tiger. Maybe they have very specific tiger preferences.
Oh, that's a possibility. Do you have specific tiger preferences?
No. I mean, for a while...
You prefer Nail's poem over Tiger Tiger. I know that much.
I do. You know, if I get anything tattooed on me, it might be that poem.
But you get matching poems, you get that one, I'll get Tiger Tiger Burning Bright.
By Robert Frost. No, it's not by Robert Frost.
And that has made all the difference. Yeah, I'll take the path less travelled, or you will, I guess.
Yes, I did enjoy in Year 10 English, an old friend of mine, his version of that poem by whoever that is that I can't remember the name of.
Yep.
The actual poet that wrote Tiger Tiger. He was asked to read, it was like a go around the class and we're all going to start reading this poem.
Yeah.
And he started it off with, Tiger, tiger, burning bright. Look out, you'll set the forest alight. Very good.
That is good. And I assume I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
Shout out to that guy, if he's listening.
I enjoy. I guess we have to point out the Simpsons predicted it thing.
Do we?
You know what I mean?
No.
Okay, so the real Vegas magicians.
Siegfried and
Roy,
got attacked by
one of them got mauled by their tiger about 18 years after this episode first aired.
Yeah, couldn't frame the fearful symmetry.
It's one of those things where everyone jumps up and down going, Simpsons predicted it. And
the Simpsons predicted that a giant cat would attack someone.
Yeah, exactly. Simpsons predicted that an attemptedly
the thing that was
wild
obviously
creature,
eventually going to happen.
Of course, it's so I think the worst Simpsons predicted I've ever seen was there was one. It's one of the HD episodes, I think, where, the joke is it cuts forward to Lisa's 10-year reunion and all the music's just being played from an iPod. And then I saw some article that was like, oh, this is actually happening at parties now. And I'm like, it was happening at parties when the episode was written. It's the shittest example of... Because I'm not a fan of the Simpsons predicted it phenomenon. Because if you write things, they're all going to happen.
It is weird that The Simpsons did legitimately predict in a joke that Trump would eventually be president, but other than that...
And that...
he would create an economic downturn, I believe, was the...
But wasn't it more than that? Wasn't it Trump would become president, and wasn't Hillary Clinton somehow involved as well? I think she was the president that Trump was replacing, I think.
Lisa replaced Trump in the...
Oh, shit.
In the show.
I thought Hillary was there somehow. Anyway, I might be wrong. But, yeah... That says more about America than it does about The Simpsons, I think.
Yeah. And, in the casino, I like that in the background. When you see, everyone in the casino, you can see, of course, the character of Dougie Jones wandering around, just putting coins in the machines, pulling them, and shouting, hello! And he keeps winning money, and then there's an old lady, and he helps her win money as well. And
this is Sneaky Peeks, isn't it?
This is Sneaky Peeks, yes.
Fuck. We are like the dreamer who dreams and then lives inside the dream.
Sneaky Peeks.
I called it. I never call them because I never see them coming. But
well, whenever you just hear me spouting some bullshit that doesn't make sense to you,
yes,
it's
a film, or it's Twin Peaks, or it's both. I do enjoy that when we see Bart's Casino get up and running, Milhouse does his own flamboyant magic show.
Yeah.
He ends up getting mauled by two cats, and there's just polite applause from the other kids.
I enjoyed that as well.
Oh.
And also, is one of those cats Snowball 2?
I think so.
And then another's like a Snowball 2 doppelganger, a double?
Just a random black cat.
It's fun.
It's just...
I mean, those cats are really honing into Milhouse as well.
They're really working overtime, and the kids just polite applause.
Yes.
Desperately
nice
enjoy.
Little clap.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Burns is turning into Howard Hughes for some reason.
Yeah, I've seen The Aviator.
Have you?
Is that on my list?
What have you seen The Aviator?
I don't know.
Not even I've seen The Aviator, and I love Scorsese. That movie's like 3 hours long. What the fuck are you doing?
I don't know.
What is this list of movies you have seen?
I don't know.
Every single movie you have seen is confusing to me.
I don't...
It's evidence like, oh yeah, I've seen Titanic. That was good.
I don't remember who took me to see it. Someone took me to see The Aviator. And about half an hour in, I'm like, well, this is dragging. And then it went for another year. But I don't remember anything about the Aviator. That was like 2005?
Yeah, give or take.
Maybe
it's got DiCaprio as an aviator.
Yes.
Driving around like, I'm the aviator, baby.
Yeah, catch me if you can.
Baby. I think Adam Scott is in that movie somewhere.
I don't know who Adam Scott is.
Okay.
All right. Is that half Adam Sandler, half Scott Schwackerman?
Scott Schwackerman?
Your mate. Podcast mate.
Scott Aukerman. No, but Scott Aukerman did do a podcast with Adam Scott. It's called You Talking You Two to Me.
Oh, that podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Saw The Aviator. Whatever.
Yeah. You didn't enjoy it?
I think halfway through The Aviator, I went, oh, this is like that Dollar Pringfield episode of popular podcast Pods in the Key of Springfield.
Man, I need to remember to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Can you do me a favour? When you upload this, can you, instead of writing $ Pringfield, can you put in brackets the word dollar?
Yes.
Excellent. That'll make me happy for some reason.
Now,
Imagine being happy.
I'd prefer not to. We get to see Krusty's midnight show. It's more adult material.
Oh, here we go.
Now, look, this is gonna be a fairly current episode. Louis C.K. has just had some shit leak out of his asshole, otherwise known as his mouth,
Into a microphone.
and fuck, this is about 2 years ago. I was sitting around thinking about, things I could be tweeting, funny little phrases. I thought, cum dog millionaire, is that a thing? Is that a phrase I could use for anything? No, I'll hold on to that and I'll become relevant eventually. Cum dog millionaire is now, I think, the term I'm going to use for Louis C.K.
Alright.
He's a dog, he won't stop coming, he's a millionaire, and he's a piece of shit,
I see. Well, I was making an allusion to Louis C.K. before.
Yep, used your illusion.
Yeah, 1 and 2.
Yep.
When I was talking about, isn't it fun when millennials when younger generations don't rebel in the exact way that you rebel. Instead, they rebel in a way which makes your rebellion...
What a real piece of shit act that was. You know what really got under my skin, apart from, every little piece of it? Listening to that act... that little bit that everyone was sort of listening to, I thought you could make this joke without throwing anyone except yourself under the bus so easily.
Oh, yeah.
The joke is essentially when I thought at this age I would be like an old man who was angry at young people, and I'm kind of annoyed that I don't get to be because young people are so sensible now. That is so easy to make as a joke about yourself. And, being annoyed you don't get to be the grumpy old man you envisioned.
Yeah.
Instead of, they're in front of Congress and I don't understand
Problem is
transgenderism. And then he shits himself on stage.
Yeah.
And then he fucking locks himself in a box and fucks up forever. Louis C.K., you fuck.
Problem is, he's actually the grumpy old man, so he doesn't get...
Yeah.
He's not in a position to make the joke about how he's not, because he is.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't be, but he is.
And it's very disheartening realizing that a comedian whose work you liked and respected, it was all, he was just following what he believed he could monetize at the time, and he was actually a piece of shit the whole time, and now he's realizing, what I can do now is start appealing to the audience that will still listen to me, which happens to be this alt-right motherfucker crowd.
Yeah.
So I'll just go to them instead, and that'll be my act from now on. Fuck you, Louis C.K. I'm sure you're listening. I'm sure, what else would you be doing, you fucking piece of shit? You got nothing else going on, you fuck. Wow. So why not listen to us?
Something that makes me happy is that, as you know, I don't engage with content.
Yeah.
So 3-5 years ago, when everyone was talking about how great he was, I'm like, I don't really care. I'm not going to investigate a new comedian.
Sure.
And now my position has defaulted to accidentally be the correct one of just, I never really got into him.
Yeah, but it's a bummer, because he appealed to so many people. It was, it's disheartening. It's very disheartening.
I suppose the only positive we can take from it is that, as far as I'm aware, he's the only comedian who has been disgraced, and I imagine the only one who will be disgraced.
We might have to have a word off air.
What? Well, I hope it's not going to take too long, because I've got to go back to reading this book about parenting. It's called... Insert Bill Cosby's book about parenting title that I don't remember. Parenthood?
I believe it was called I'm the Dad with the Pudding.
Alright.
I think it was actually called Parenthood. Imagine that. I saw a copy of that at Savers, a local, discount outlet.
Sure.
I thought, this is not going to hold its value.
No.
It's $2 value at Savers.
No, but I mean, there will be people who buy that for the ironic collecting of it, surely.
Yeah.
It'd be like people who buy vinyl, they don't actually like it. They're just like, wouldn't it be funny to fill a house with these pieces of shit?
I don't think that's what's happening.
Nick digs himself a grave with more opinions about how vinyl is the worst. Singing a little song there about the truth.
So, but nearly books Liza Minnelli.
I didn't mean to detract from the takedown of Louis C.K.,
No,
who is actually a piece of shit. But.
No, and Bill Cosby also. Very bad.
Yes, very bad. Michael Richards, on the other hand, everything he's said... Oh, no, wait.
Oh,
no.
wait.
No,
my phone's buzzing right now. Oh, what's he doing?
Oh, a tweet from 2005. Sorry, I got so excited to make that joke that I couldn't talk. A tweet from 2005? Well, this is no good.
Ooh.
It's about when that happened, wasn't it?
Yeah, give or take.
Same year
Might be a little later.
Same year The Aviator came out.
Those were the two major...
The big two.
There's a weird Liza Minnelli burn in this episode that I don't quite get.
What was up with that?
I don't know if I know Liza Minnelli. Like, I mostly know her from Arrested Development, so I don't know if I know enough about her career to follow why Bart is so displeased that the Liza Minnelli impersonator he booked is actually Liza Minnelli.
It's good that there was no tragic fallout from Arrested Development either.
Oh, fucking... Nothing's good anymore.
Nothing's good. And look,
even watching the fucking Simpsons, we keep finding shit. I've got some shit later in my notes on this episode.
Well, there was that screenshot that came out very recently about Homer has a box on his head and someone says, oh, that's robot face, and that's very, very offensive and cultural appropriation.
Yeah, I think I retweeted that on the pods account and said we're going to have to get to this fucking shit eventually.
At some point, yeah.
We actually have quite a few minefields to walk through with this show.
I genuinely feel like the option is disengage. Just don't consume any content, because it's probably all bad.
No, you can't disengage though. You gotta find like the hope in the world, Nick. You gotta find the stuff that makes you feel like maybe life is actually worth living.
Like Pods in the Key of Springfield.
Like Pods in the Key of Springfield, the best podcast on the... Well, I mean, it's not as good as Reply All, but otherwise...
I mean...
It's like Reply All, the first season of Serial, and then us.
As far as I'm concerned, Reply All doesn't even exist on the internet. That's in its own country. That's in its own little universe.
Which is ironic, because it's actually all about this universe. That is like the Omelette Egg Flip podcast.
And it's all
from another dimension that is about our dimension.
And it's all about the internet, the place on which I declare it to not exist.
Do you think we could get Alex Goldman on this podcast?
Oh, don't be so ridiculous.
Yeah, that's right. Now, look, there's a scene where Homer... Now, this episode falls back into the trope of... Marge is not home for a while and everything falls apart.
Yes.
So Homer goes to make his own dinner, and he makes a pie consisting of cloves, Tom Collins mix, and a frozen pie crust.
Yes.
Now, we've talked a few times about doing an Eat My Shorts episode where we construct meals from The Simpsons and then eat them.
Oh, God.
Do you think we should make this one or leave it off?
I reckon we can probably leave that one off.
No?
I mean...
You don't want to eat clove pie with Tom Collins mix?
See, the thing is, we're going to make the Good Morning Burger at some point.
Yeah.
That is actually edible. It won't be nice.
We really should have done that last year. It could have been a thing we left behind in 2019.
Yeah. Yeah, whereas the clove Tom Collins pie is genuinely not edible.
The Tom Clovens.
The Tom Clovens. There we go.
Well, now that it has a name, we have to do it.
Oh, God. All right.
There's a scene where Lisa gets very freaked out by the boogeyman. The boogeyman's chasing her around. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been afflicted by any sort of boogeyman? Has a boogeyman ever visited you in the night?
No. Only that time I had the huge sugar-induced panic attack in the middle of the podcast and thought that someone was going to walk up the stairs.
Yeah, I remember that. That was good fun.
That's the closest we've got. Oh, and there was that one recording where there was that... voice of a ghostly child. But those are the only two boogie...
Seemed like a friendly ghost. Like a Casper-like figure.
Those are the only two boogie persons that I've experienced.
So in this episode, we got the boogeyman. We've got Gambler as well with his neon claws.
Sure.
Do you think those two are in league?
Possibly. I mean, I always thought Gambler was more of a concept, but are you saying it's a real character? Like a tangible, affecting the universe type character?
Yeah, I think... when Homer says that Gambler has seized Marge in his neon claws, that's a fairly visceral image, isn't it?
It's the real deal. It's a real tangible claw.
Yeah, and we know the Boogerman to be real because, they're terrified of him and his approaching madness or whatever it is that he brings.
That's a very good point. I guess they are in. Oh, so you're saying that while Gambler has Marge restrained, Marge being the voice of well, it's not really the voice. Lisa's the voice of reason. What is Marge? She's the only competent adult. So while the only competent adult is restrained, then the boogeyman can come in and wreak his horrible wrath.
Yeah.
Interesting. Working as a little team.
Yeah, I think that's what's happening here. It's it's only
cute.
Marge's rational stylings, I suppose, that were keeping the fucking boogeyman. Oh my god, what are we doing? What is this podcast?
Are you ready to go to the next one?
No, I'm not. That's the problem. I got to get through these notes, then we'll move on to the next one. I got a few things.
Yep.
I got to get through here. Mm-hmm. I can skip that one. Okay, so Robert Goulet, the bit with him singing about Batman.
Yes.
That was on that old Simpson CD, Songs in the Key of, I forget the rest of it.
Popes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Songs in the Key of the Pope. But that bit with him singing the song was on the album.
Yes.
But they left in some of the stuff beforehand, like your manager says for you to shut up.
Yeah.
But they also have Bart picking him up at the airport. And then the thing that really sticks with me, they cut little bits here and there, but they left in just the sound of Bart riding his bike back to the treehouse. So just on that track, there's this bit that's just Bart going, yeah.
That's funny.
It's strange.
Yeah, that is strange.
Yeah.
It's fun, though. I really enjoy the way that he enunciates egg. Jingle bells, Batman smells, Robin laid an egg. Egg.
Maybe.
It's got some real swagger.
It's a real verve.
It's got some real swagger to it.
Verve and swagger.
Yeah.
Verve and swagger would be a good name for a bar.
I mean, there was Verve at the shopping centre that we used to live near, and that wasn't particularly great.
No, that place... Is that place still there?
Maybe.
Hasn't turned into a place called, like, Swagger or Swang?
Swank. I think it's still there. Verve Bar. Verve as in the pop group, not Verve as in the champagne. Verve is still there.
Good. I mean, it sucks, but whatever. It's
I have
fine.
no intention to go back there again.
No, let's never go there again.
Do you want to go there tonight?
No.
All right.
Good.
Oh, I just remembered that it's 4:30 on the 2nd of January, and I told myself I wasn't going to drink during January. And just even thinking about being in a bar / restaurant made me want a beer. Because I was like, I used to go there for a pint of Fat Yak before, and they used to do Imperials when it was
they
Verve
have
as
Ruby
well.
Tuesday.
Oh, goodbye, Ruby Tuesday.
Exactly, you have to say goodbye to Ruby Tuesday for the rest of the month. Well, you don't have to, you can do whatever you want. You're a full-grown adult.
But it's what that's the song you sing when you go to the bathroom after drinking pints of Ruby Tuesday.
Yeah, when you need to take a shit after drinking Ruby Tuesday.
No, not when you need to take a shit, James. When you're doing cheeky wheeze.
Oh, okay, because they're coming out red.
Fuck.
Okay, I got 3 more notes I got to get through here.
Oh, that's right. We were going to try and get through these quickly.
Okay.
And then we diverted like hell.
Now, Burnsy pulls a gun on Smithers. We never see them again for the rest of the episode. Did Burns shoot Smithers?
Who shot Mr. Smithers?
Exactly.
Part 2 episode coming up after this.
Yes. Having to dress up as a state, which Lisa has to do in this episode, that fucking sucks as a thing to make a kid do.
I can only assume that's not real. Like, dressing up in the vibe of a state, I could understand.
Sure.
You know, dress up in a way that is summarising the general feeling.
Yeah.
That I can understand, but surely not 3D costumes.
Yeah, as an activity, it fucking sucks. I mean, you shouldn't have to do it.
No, I agree.
And this episode, again, it's about Marge here. She has a gambling problem. She's got these issues. But once again, the conflict is ultimately that Marge is not around the house doing typically motherly things.
Yeah, and that Homer's upset because he has to do some quote unquote adulting.
Yeah, the house is dirty. Nobody's cooking dinner. And Homer's useless at helping Lisa with the thing she wants to do. Like, the fact that Marge has, like, a fairly serious problem is kind of swept under the rug in favor of, like, these are the things you are not doing for other people right now.
Yes.
And that kind of sucks.
I'm not a fan. Surprisingly, I'm not a fan.
Very nice. I mean, this is a very funny episode. I laughed a lot in this episode.
Yeah.
But, you know, I kind of feel like this is a fairly typical thing the show does a lot in its good seasons, is have these conflicts that ultimately wrap up because, you know, the problems that woman is facing are inconveniencing the men in her life. It's a bit of a thing that keeps happening.
Yeah. And I suppose I don't have the deftness to figure out what the resolution... Like, I'm not sure how Marge could come to the realisation she has a problem without realizing the way it's affecting other people because I'm so heavily inculcated in that 90s.
Yeah.
It must affect the man. And look, I'm not saying I'm particularly pleased to be in this position. I just can't think of how that would be resolved. It's also why I'm not a sitcom writer. But
I'm sure if we took like some time, we'd be able to come up with something.
Do you mean like...
We've done it on other episodes, but we probably shouldn't do it now because we're like 4 hours into this recording. And...
Do you mean the herb time? You want us to take some of the herb time?
Well, we tried parsley, sage, and rosemary. None of them helped, so why not?
So if we make it the big four...
Yeah.
Season 5, episode 11, Homer, the ant holding a candlelight vigil.
Homer the Vigilante, that's what it's called. It's about
Sure.
Homer being a vigilante.
Chalkboard. I don't often do the chalkboard. Once
Yep.
upon a time I tried to make it a recurring segment and then forgot almost every time.
Yep.
But Bart is writing, I'm not authorised to fire substitute teachers. Frankly, that feels like a two-way street to me, because if you're a substitute teacher rocking up and obeying the word of a 10-year-old student that you no longer have the job, you're probably not a very good substitute teacher.
Yeah, he's just performing an act of community service. The community being the community of the school.
Oh, so it's like survival of the fittest, but for teachers.
No.
What?
What?
Oh, you mean the substitute is performing the community service?
No, little Barty boy.
Little
Little
wait.
Barty boy.
That was... I'm not sure I follow your chain of logic. But
wouldn't.
it also doesn't matter. It's only the chalkboard game.
There's a very, I like the music at the start of this episode because it's very Twin Peaksy.
Oh, okay.
A little soft jazz.
Oh,
you know,
yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, because this is the one with the cat burglar who goes through and steals all of the things.
Cats. Yep. Yep.
Fuck. Goes through, steals all of the things. We also find out that Bart has a stamp collection.
Yes.
I'd like to see a spin-off show called Bart the Philatelist, in which he just talks...
Would you?
Yes, in which he just talks us through his stamp collection.
And John Ronson would do a podcast about it, and how Bart gets off sexually by having people destroy his stamp collection. I've told you about that, haven't I?
Yes, you have. You have told me about that. And also, first piece of evidence from what I can recall, that Nelson has placed microphones throughout the Simpsons house.
I think he just has telepathy. I think there are actually a few instances of Nelson ha-haing from a distance that indicates some sort of telepathic link, some sort of shinning.
Some sort of shinning.
Yes.
That's interesting.
We'll get to them as the show keeps going and going and going and going and going forever.
Nelson. Nicholson. No, that doesn't really work.
Are you trying to prove that Nelson was involved in the fake of the moon landing?
No, I was trying to prove that Nelson is actually Jack Nicholson in The Shining.
Okay, Nelson. So he's the son of Nell. Nell sounds like Nell. He's the son of no one. He was immaculately born. Immaculate conception.
And possibly as a result of that, not mortal, which means he's a time traveller, which means he can live in the Overway Hotel.
Yeah, makes him some sort of Christ figure, I suppose. I'm sure there's some biblical imagery in...
In The Shining?
Probably. I mean, it's a movie.
I thought...
There's going to be something in there.
Sure. I don't recall seeing any religious imagery or triptychs, but anyway.
We see Homer sleepwalking early in this episode. Have you ever gone sleepwalking?
No.
Okay, I've never done it either, but it reminded me... A friend of mine who possibly listens to this podcast, I'm not sure. Mel, if you're listening, I'm about to tell you a story. I was hanging out with some friends, walking down the street just the other day.
And one of them was asleep.
Yes, well, we're hanging out at a pub and we were talking about sleep paralysis and sleepwalking.
Man, I'd love a beer.
She said, she didn't know if she did much sleepwalking, would sleep talk sometimes, but she said one time when she was younger, her sisters heard like a noise in her room and they opened the door and she was standing at the window, tapping on the glass, moving her head as though she was following something with her eyes.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a creepy scene.
Yes.
Fuck.
Yep, she said that. I said, nope, don't like that. Wish you hadn't told me about it.
That's not cool at all.
No.
Wow.
What a good time. The cat burglar in this episode.
That thing about how you're not supposed to wake sleepwalkers, that's bullshit, isn't it?
I'm not sure. I've never tried it. I've never encountered a sleepwalker. I think it would scare the shit out of me, actually.
It would.
None of the people I've ever lived with have been sleepwalkers. I feel like it would terrify me.
Yeah, I would. No. Okay, according to the register.co.uk, the first result that came up on Google, it is a myth that it is dangerous to wake a sleepwalker. It is not a myth. What?
What's really dangerous is to not complete the tasks they lay out for you.
Sure. There's a website called sleep.org. Who would have thought?
Nick, this is not the time to go to sleep.org.
Yeah, okay. I think
unless it's got anything about the Pope on it, in which case.
Basically, the general consensus I can see is that if you wake a sleepwalker, they might be fucking scared and confused, but you should probably do it because it's probably safer for them to be awake.
Yeah, they might pick up a knife and get stabbing, like in that movie Side Effects. Directed by Steven Soderbergh, starring Channing Tatum, Rooney Mara.
Is that a movie about the effects of cider?
Yes.
Excellent.
You start stabbing people.
No, I
said I wanted beer.
It's an Irish movie about a bunch of fucks who drink cider, and they call themselves the Cider Effects.
Awful.
Terrible accent. I apologise to all of our Irish brothers and sisters.
Yeah, now this
and
is...
everyone in between.
Yes. This is the burglar. He seems like a fairly unambitious burglar, and then he goes into the house and takes like 4 things and then leaves again.
It's also, is he purposely aiming for sentimental things?
Seems to be.
Because
I think he gets off on this shit, frankly.
There are things in the house that are worth more than the things that he took. But also, the first place he checks in every room is their bed to see what they're sleeping with. Now, I understand this is probably a very handy literary shortcut for saying this is the thing that's most important too. But I don't go to bed holding the thing that's most important to me.
No. I feel like I would leave it in another room while I slept in my... I don't know, it seems like... Surely that's the easiest way to get caught.
Sure.
And if anyone had woken up while he was robbing them, do you think he would have killed them?
Are you suggesting this is going to be one of those, like... When you say that leave it in another room, that's the easiest way to get caught, is that some kind of, like, fear factor situation where... You know, if you ever get approached by a TV show and they say, what are you most scared of? Then never tell them snakes or spiders or whatever the real answer is, because then next thing you know, you'll be in a bathtub full of snakes and spiders.
I'm scared of puppy dogs.
I'm scared of puppy dogs who have, lollies in a basket worn on their head. And then...
worn on their head?
Yeah, and then
that's great, because you spend a bit of a while there, think it through, and then you're like, okay, puppies with lolly baskets, and then throw out on their heads.
Yeah.
At the end there. Should be around their necks, bro.
Oh, possibly, yeah. And then a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel walks in with some Starburst, and you're like, oh no, I'm terrified.
And then you open the basket, it's full of snakes. You got tricked.
Oh, fuck. Damn it, because I was going to say, is that the same logic that applies with a cat burglar? You should, in fact, sleep every night in your bed with a thing that you don't like, because then if a cat burglar comes
full of scorpions.
If a cat burglar comes and steals something from you, you'll be like, yeah, well, I never wanted that vinyl record anyway.
That vinyl record of Revolver.
What year did that come out?
What year is this? Look, this burglar, he doesn't burgle in a way that makes sense.
Hey.
Because surely you should just go to one house.
We've just entered the 50-year anniversary of the Summer of Love. 1969.
Nice, yep.
Which means there's a few...
Man, I've been waiting so long.
No, 60 years. Never mind.
Editor James here. Actually, it has been 50 years. Nick, you were right the first time.
Okay, what was your point going to be?
I was going to say that there are a few things that are having the 50th year anniversary this year. Like, quite a few cultural milestones. But they're actually the 60th, and that's not...
Yeah, 60 years ago, we had Johnny Cash.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, so... Look, the way this guy robs... He doesn't... Surely, if you were a thief, a common thief, you would go to someone's house...
Common or garden thief.
And you would just, take a lot of one household stuff. You wouldn't hit up, 20 houses in one night and just take a little bit from each one.
I feel like the risk...
That seems inefficient.
Yeah, it's inefficient, but also the risk increases exponentially with every house that you go into.
That's why I think this is a sexual thing for this guy.
Right.
It only makes sense if, this is about the thrill of it.
Yeah, I suppose
I don't think he's really getting any... he's not selling any of the stuff.
No, because it all gets returned back to them.
It's all a game to him, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So he's just a pesty old retiree.
Yep.
Hanging out in a bloody retirement village.
Yep.
Just getting off on stealing possessions.
Having said that, I do also believe that this episode is happening largely within the egg flip alternate universe.
Oh, I see.
Because when the Simpsons ring up to report the crime, we see Wiggum. He says, 723 Evergreen Terrace. Got it. The Simpsons live at 742 Evergreen Terrace, typically.
Yeah. That is interesting.
Yeah, so that's, this is some sort of alternate universe where they're at a slightly different address.
Wait. Earlier this season, there was a thing about the address.
That was the last season, I think, when they were watching Cops.
Was it? Oh,
Could have been this season.
It was when they were watching Cops, for sure.
And we find out that Lovejoy was living at 742 Evergreen Terrace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all very strange.
Yeah, so every now and then we flip over to this other universe, and shit's pretty wild over there.
Mad wild.
I really like the line after we find out the Bud's stamp collection has been stolen, where Lisa says, Bud's paint is funny, but mine isn't. It's a good line.
It's a very good line.
Yeah.
Very good line. Very funny line. Not a great way to live, but very funny line.
Yeah.
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 This is a strange episode. There's some strange shit in this one.
Yes.
Yes. When they've recovered the hanky from the cat burglar, there's a scene where Wiggum says, yes,
Yeah.
we recovered the hanky from the crime scene, which, fucking rookie mistake. Like, this guy wants to get caught.
He does. Yeah.
And, he's using a hanky. What's he using it to mop up? Who knows? But
okay.
But anyway, when Wiggum has the hanky, he's like, oh yeah, I'm sweating like a pig here, and, wipes himself down, seeing the thing, this is the most obvious layup they're doing on this joke. It is so weird, where they're going to use this hanky with the sniffer dog, who's going to find the guy, and they have to, basically pause the action. Like, they can't just have him, casually wiping his brow. He has to stop and enunciate what he's doing.
Yeah.
Weird layup on that joke.
The thing I like about that is, for a moment, I went to double back on that and pedantically offer a correction of alley-oop, and then I'm like, actually, the joke doesn't go to a second party. The joke reflexes back on Wiggum.
Yeah.
So layup is more correct.
Yes.
If it had gone to a second party, then it would have been an alley-oop.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I would have said boom shakalaka then. And,
he's on fire.
Yeah. Now, the other weird thing here is... What was I about to say? Okay. When I was a kid, when I saw this episode, I was a little boy. Just a little boy, I didn't know shit. I didn't know how the world worked. I didn't. So once you've seen this episode once, of course, Malloy is the cat burglar, and that's just how it is from then on. You always know it. What I'm wondering, though, is if you were an adult when this came out, do you think you were meant to know the whole time that Malloy was the cat burglar?
I think it's pretty clearly signposted.
Yeah, it's signposted like a motherfucker.
It's hard to tell in a vacuum.
Yeah.
But it's a character that we've never seen before.
What about a continuum?
Very, very excellent.
Just a little callback humor there. To anyone switching off the podcast, throwing their phone in the bin, and going to live in the woods after hearing me say it.
I think it's signposted heavily enough.
Yeah, because we get that scene of Grandpa's in his bedroom. He's like, it's the cat burglar, baby. He's come to steal my stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just Malloy, this man we've never met before.
Yeah.
With this voice that we then hear again moments later.
And also, Grandpa doesn't have stuff.
No. And then, everyone's really worried. They're insuring their stuff. They're getting security put in.
The town meeting that happens in Ned's basement.
Yes.
So Ned's basement is not a place we see that often, right?
Yeah.
We see it in the mini golf episode, season 1.
Yep.
Yeah. Or season 2.
The bar down there.
Yeah, the bar down in Ned's basement. There's a sign next to the bar, which
I saw that sign as well.
pisses me off. The 7 days one?
Yeah, it pissed you off?
It did, because it's wrong.
Okay.
It says, 7 days without a drink makes me weak. The phrase is, 7 days without a drink makes 1 week. It's meant to be like a royal one, because then that's a play on a week.
I think I misread the sign. I didn't read week, I read wine, like with a H.
Ah.
Maybe that was just my mind
That's even
changing
stranger.
it into a different joke, though.
I guess
Is that a thing that minds do?
I guess so. I guess so. You just started bloody punching. I mean, that's not even punching up. It's punching sideways. But, so I thought it said 7 days without a drink makes me weak, which is wrong, because it's not a joke then. It should be makes 1 week, because it's 7 days.
Yeah, and makes 1. It's like old-timey speak.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I was going to say about the sign. But it's weird that we got... To be honest, I feel like my point has been completely fucking crowbarred by the fact that you had a different reading.
Well, I apologise for crowbarring your point.
No, it's fine, because now I'm not sure. Maybe I had it wrong.
you say I had a different reading, just like one of us misread the sign. Probably me.
Probably. I don't want to swing too hard, but... Should I check? Are people going to get irritated if there's no closure to this?
You could Frankie Yak it.
I'll Frankie Yak it.
Isn't it weird that this episode is not about like a general increase in crime? It is about a single super criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah. That necessitates the forming of a vigilante group.
Yeah, it's a very quick escalation to vigilante group. Is that maybe an indication about the power of the media? Because it seems like Kent Brockman Kent Brockman and the news team.
The professor on to talk about whether we should crack each other's heads open and feast on the go inside and all of that.
I do enjoy
just that sort of general thing of like if somebody is highly educated enough, they'll be brought in to discuss issues they obviously know nothing about. Yeah,
and it's pretty impressive to get into a situation like that and not back out of it and say that actually I don't really have the capacity to talk about this.
Especially considering that this was before the 24-hour news cycle. I feel like they did a pretty good job of... This episode feels weirdly prescient. You know, there's that scene where Trump is president. But, you know, largely... it feels very modern, this one, in a lot of ways. There's a lot of stuff that's like, yeah, that's kind of how things are. It does say weak.
Yeah.
Why did I think it said why?
And it does say me, which is wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Mysterious.
Oh, unless that's meant to be read in like a Cockney voice. And then it's like, 7 days without a drink makes me weak. As in like my week, but like me weak.
Me weak.
Makes me weak.
Me weak. Okay, good.
Cross out that note.
Yeah, brilliant joke. Great sign. Everything's perfect. That's what we were saying, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, more or less.
So they formed this vigilante group.
Yes.
Of vigilantes.
Yes. With the theme song Adelante by Sash.
Yes. Yep, Alejandro. Did you notice they have all these people joining the group? And so everyone's like, I'm with you, Homer. We're gonna be part of a vigilante group. They show Captain McAllister joining this group. But then he's just not in the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Because of, I'll be with you too, matey.
Has he gone back to the ocean?
Yeah, he's an ocean vigilante, I suppose.
Maybe he's like a satellite outpost of the vigilante group.
Is it just me or does
taking care of ocean crime?
Really feels like in this season they're really trying hard to make Captain McAllister a thing.
Captain Kevin McAllister. Yeah, they do.
Not his name.
I know, but it's so much fun if it is.
Ah!
They do lean in. I should point out for anyone who wonder what that noise was, that was you doing Macaulay Culkin Home Alone face. I'm not sure that they do. It could have been you doing a Rain Man callback to the Mr. Burns Casino episode.
That would be, if I just left the table, that would be me, you know?
Oh,
because I had 15 minutes to Wapner. I've never seen that movie.
Nor have I.
No. Should we watch it? No.
Is one passing reference enough for it to get onto 22 Flims?
I'm not sure what's enough. Well, okay, the thing with 22 Flims is, I have a note about this 2 notes down. So many of these fucking movies are just Kubrick movies.
Oh, yeah.
There are 2 episodes in a row we've just watched that have Dr. Strangelove references.
Oh, yeah.
The previous one in the name, this one with the bomb dropping on the How Now Brown Bureaucrat guy.
How Now Brown Bureaucrat.
And New Jersey Nowheres.
It is good.
Also the second episode in a row where we see Homer owns a shotgun.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Except in this one, he appears to not know how to use it, whereas in the last one, he was locked and loaded and ready to fire.
Yeah, accidentally fires it in both episodes.
Both episodes.
It's also a bit of a weird structural thing here where we see all the vigilantes with their shotguns, and then the next scene is them going to Herman's to buy weapons.
Yeah, that's strange. Maybe they decided they need... Well, maybe Marge made her point, because she said, I don't think the guns are a good idea.
But they just buy other guns.
But they all accidentally... Yeah, I guess so. and then they go to sacks of doorknobs.
Yeah. There's some strange stuff in this one.
Yeah, it's interesting.
It's a weird little episode of our lives.
Of our lives, yes.
Yeah, God, I've got a whole fucking other page here of notes. I should rush through some of these. Probably not all of them need to be said.
Sure.
I like when Homer's driving around with the Rap Master 2000 that he gets from Bart.
Yes.
How funky all the kids get while following.
I mean,
when they think it's MC Hammer or whatever the fuck.
the note that I've got there is just kids are stupid.
Yeah.
It's a fucking... I think
now that you're old and you look...
Here we go. I think it's really funny that the kids, not just the kids, the whole town hated Homer when he brought someone that he thought was Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
And yet one kid hears the shittest, most Casio keyboard of all rap beats and goes, "It's Hammer!" And then the entire town thinks that it's...
Yeah. And then those kids get real funky with it.
Unless...
They're getting jiggy with it.
Unless...
Nah.
You know how I'm a big fan of the idea that what we're seeing in these episodes are isolated highlights of Simpsons life, and it's not actually intended to be a complete compendium of every anecdote.
Yep, just how it represents a lot of things through abstraction because it knows we can fill in the gaps of their own minds, yes.
Exactly. Maybe Homer does actually have a rap career that we haven't heard about, and his name is Hammer Simpson.
Hammer Simpson.
And so when the kid's like, "It's Hammer," it's like, "It's Hammer Simpson."
Yeah. If you look up his Twitter favorites, there's a lot of rope bondage in there. A little Arnie Hammer reference there.
Oh, okay. An Arnie Hammer reference.
So I just threw that out on the off chance you would know what I was talking about.
I follow a comedian on Twitter who,
Is it me?
No, an open mic comedian. And recently he started liking a lot of...
Which mic does he open for?
He started started favoriting on Twitter a lot of very, very hardcore pornography.
Oh, yeah.
And of course...
Not aware it would pop up in people's feeds.
It's all popping up in my feed. And Twitter's become... I should just unfollow this guy. Because it's actually reaching a point now where I'm like, this is too frequent for me to continue just... Because Twitter's one of those things that I'll just turn to throughout the day. And, I like to split my hardcore pornography habit away from my Twitter scrolling habit.
It's weird that Twitter won't let you secretly favorite things.
Yeah, right. Why isn't there a secret
That should
fave?
be a function.
Secret fave.
Yeah. Jack from Twitter, if you're listening, if you're not off at one of your bullshit silence retreats or just letting Nazis run rampant, you fuck. Maybe you could put a private like function in, you fucking dickhead.
Tom from MySpace, if you're listening.
You seem okay.
How does it feel
good.
that once you were friends with literally every 16-year-old girl in the world? How does that feel? And every 16-year-old boy. Does that make you feel weird, Tom? From MySpace?
And what was going on with the top friends function, Tom? That was a weird little thing.
I got around that by my top 8 was just bands, that I wouldn't have any arguments with any friends. And then they introduced you could expand it up to top 24. And I'm like, oh god.
Mine was as people. It was weird. It was a weird thing to do.
Yeah, top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you were on my list back in the day. I don't know.
Maybe.
Who knows? Who cares?
Is my MySpace still up?
No, it won't be. You would have burnt it down.
Did I?
I think they possibly purged them all at some point.
Am I organised enough to have torn them all down?
Sure, you can look into that. I'm going to look at my notes here and see if there's anything else I have to say. There was a few things. Heavy sack beatings are up a shocking 900%. That's a good line. That's fun. We laughed at that.
I can't even remember my MySpace username. Oh yeah, heavy sack beatings up by 900%. The thing I enjoyed about that is that it implies that there was already a statistic for heavy sack beatings. That's my favourite implication arising from that.
Your MySpace name was almost certainly... I don't want to say, actually, because I don't know how open you are with your old usernames.
I'll mute the microphone for a moment. I think you're right, it was.
That was your name for everything.
It was.
Let's see. We see on Smartline, Malloy calls in.
Malloy!
And Homer... chokes out the, what was the guy's role there? The stage manager. And we see the stage manager collapse. We don't see him get back up. I think Homer killed the stage manager.
That seems like a brutal way of going about things, doesn't it?
Also weird that a show that is not a call-in show is called Smartline.
Also weird that Kent says, first ever caller, and I mean ever because this is not a call-in show, and then immediately puts the caller to air.
Yeah.
If it's not a call-in show, how does the framework and structure exist for a call to be put through to the air so quickly?
And don't call your show Smartline, a name that inherently implies there's a line people can call in to be smart on.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you there, because there's a ABC rural affairs show called Landline. No one calls into Landline.
Well, I feel like landline is different, though. That implies that this is your landline this is your line to the land.
Well, surely Smartline is your line to the smart.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, are there any other shows with line in them? No.
No,
No.
those are the other two.
Those two. Late Line? Is that a thing?
Late Line. Was that a real show, though?
I think there's a... isn't there a... What's that digital radio thing in America? Sirius FM?
You think of Serial with Sarah Koenig.
Oh, sure. Isn't caning a type of jar?
Oh my god.
Or flask? It might be a type of flask.
You ever just have those moments where you just wonder what other people's lives are like?
People that don't have to put up with me. Is that what you mean? Seems
Just,
harsh.
so many of the people we know just, grew up and became real people. Yeah. Recording a podcast about The Simpsons on a Wednesday. Where we've divulged into an argument about whether caning is a form of flask or not.
I don't think it was an argument.
Maybe not.
Oh, I'll ring into Glass Line, my favourite show about glass.
So, Homer goes to protect this cubic zirconia. He leaves his post for a moment. I don't know where the other vigilantes are. But then fucking Malloy, he comes down from the roof, which he was on top of. Mm-hmm. He opens the unlocked front door, flicks a switch to turn off the
alarm
the security system. Yep. Takes the zirconia, I guess just walks home carrying it.
Yeah, it seems like a pretty shoddy operation, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a bit sweaty. Sweaty app.
Yep.
Little sweaty.
And I think what then happened is that Malloy took it, gave it to our pod friend Elliot J. O'Neill, and it became the most valuable rating in the Simpsons Index rating system.
Yeah, I believe that's what's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I believe...
Is it possible that he scrolled it away in a pocket dimension? We have established that this one, crosses between dimensions. I don't know.
A pocket dimension?
Is Malloy some sort of void walker?
Is that a Star...
Too late in the podcast to get into that possibility.
Is that a Star Wars thing?
I don't think so. Now, there's a thing in this episode that neither of us had noticed until this viewing that I thought was pretty interesting. Something we both found very funny. When the cubic zirconia gets stolen because Homer was drunk, and then everyone shows up at his house and pelts him with shit, and he's on the ground. We saw that one guy standing at the front of the crowd holding a tray of lettuce that he's picking up with salad tongs and hurling at Homer.
Yes.
This guy who I'm calling Salad Tongue Savalas.
Alright.
He's he could be a potential Norman. I don't know.
He might be a Norman. It seems like an extraordinary thing. People are pelting him with your traditional oranges and tomatoes and things like that. And then there's one guy who's just seemingly hurling individual lettuce leaves.
I like the idea that pelting someone with an orange is traditional.
Sure. Do you reckon, there's that big festival in Spain, La Tomatina, I think?
Yep.
That tomato harvest festival?
Yep.
Is there a lettuce and salad server version of that?
Where everyone's just flinging salad with tongs at each other?
Yeah, everyone's just flicking a couple of cos leaves at each other.
It's a possibility.
I'd like to go to there.
Would you?
No. Seems wasteful. La Tomatina. Yeah, I've never understood.
Wasteful of lettuce, wasteful of your time.
Yeah, and I think La Tomatina is very wasteful of tomatoes.
Yes.
Unless they're the shit tomatoes, but then you can still do something with them.
So Grandpapa Simpson.
We haven't recorded since needles in strawberries were a thing.
I think we have.
We probably have.
I think we talked about it.
Sorry, I think when we were talking about it...
I'm sure I would have branched off into something about the Back to the Future 2 guy, Needles.
You did? Yes.
Almost certainly. Okay. I would have gone up on some bullshit tangent about Flea in Back to the Future 2.
That's the one.
Yeah. So Grandpa realizes Malloy is the cat burglar, and Homer says, "Oh, Dad, I could kiss you." And he says, "Well, kiss me here. It's the only spot I still have feeling." Homer kisses Grandpa, and then he gets this look on his face that to me indicates that he has just realized he has lost feeling in that part of his face.
Oh.
That is always how I've interpreted that little look he gives afterwards. like this little sad moment where Grandpa realizes that his face no longer has any feeling, and that he can no longer experience the the simple passion and joy of a kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get that vibe, but I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah. And he realizes, all he has to look forward to now is the grave. That's what's happening in that scene.
I mean, that's grim. That's a grim reading of an otherwise, in many ways, you're the grim reader.
Thank you.
A grim reading of a scene that I had otherwise never paid any attention to.
Yeah. And then they catch Malloy. We find out that Selma and Patty have a big fucking ball of hair. Second joke about a Bouvier having a big ball or something in this episode.
Yeah, a second joke about, more specific than that, second joke about a treasured item existing in large ball form. Because, of course, Marge's necklace gets stolen.
Yes.
And then she has a huge ball of them. Ball seems like an inefficient way to store necklaces. Seems like a fine way to store locks of MacGyver's hair, I suppose.
So much MacGyver hair.
But yeah, apparently Marge, Patty, and Selma, they don't seem to understand.
There's like a ball culture amongst the Bouviers.
I think there's a ball culture.
Balls amongst the Bouviers.
But it also appears to be that perhaps they don't quite get on board with the idea of preciousness generally relates to scarcity.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if I was like, my cans, look what you've done to them.
Oh, look what
and then
you've done to them.
Turn around and I've got like 8 million more cans. It doesn't matter as much.
I'd go mad without my spoons.
I'd go mad without my lettuce, leaves, and salad servers.
And then, for some reason, the episode turns into a parody of that film, It's a Mad, 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 Mad,
Marge?
Mad, 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 Mad World.
Sure.
That's what it's called, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, there's a number of Mads.
Well, I feel like...
That movie that was essentially remade as Rat Race with Rowan Atkinson and John Lovitz.
Sure. Another triumph!
The movie that introduced me to the phrase prairie dogging when you need to take a shit and a little bit's poking out.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like somewhere in the back of my mind is a nugget of information from a podcast that one of the American burger chains, Shake Shack maybe, or Carl's Jr., one of them, out the front of every restaurant every suburban restaurant, so not any of the inner city ones, but any suburban restaurant, there are 2 palm trees that are trained to grow in an X.
Oh, really?
And that was a reference to the creator's favourite movie, It's a Mad, 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 Mad World.
So Vin Diesel.
Yes. No.
I guess there must be something hidden under a big X in that movie. I've never seen it.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Big T.
So they're all rushing to find the money that Malloy has stolen. Is there an assumption here that once the money is found, it will be redistributed amongst the people who find it?
It seems to be the case that...
Have they just very suddenly embraced capitalism?
Yeah.
No, not capitalism. Fucking socialism, I suppose.
I think...
Be the model there.
I think what they've done is forget that it is proceeds of crime.
Yeah.
Like... because everyone just is on the assumption that, well, if we find it, it's ours. Not sure that that's the case.
But they're all still working together once they reach the site. Like, it's just going to be an equal distribution. It's weird.
I suppose so. But then, does everyone in town have to prove that they were equally affected by the robbery to get an equal... Like, there's a lot of unanswered questions going on here about how exactly they think these funds are going to be dealt with.
Surely it would immediately be seized as evidence, and then there would be...
I would imagine so.
Some sort of process beyond that.
Yes.
Yeah.
As it turns out, it was just a note that said, well, there hasn't been treasure here in 35 years.
Wow, there's been any treasure under this tree. Since that little gathering we had, I've been doing that bit with a friend at every opportunity, and it never stops being funny to me.
I don't remember any discussion about that bit at that gathering. I had a few lemonades at that gathering, and I no longer know what happens.
That's fair.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Well, they dig a hole, and then we get the line, dig up, stupid, which is a nice line.
Dig up, stupid, very good.
And something I've never really noticed, right at the end of this episode, they're in the hole. I was looking at the makeup of who is still in the hole. We know, like, the main diggers are down there.
It's one of those things that never even clicked about looking until you sit here with pen and pad and go, well, I'm taking this a more analytical route. Who's in the hole?
Yeah, Marge is down there digging along with everyone, which is strange because it
Seems
doesn't
very
seem like the
strange.
kind of tomfoolery she would generally be on board with.
No, it does not.
And it means they've left the kids unattended, I suppose.
It's a habit at this stage.
Patty and Selma are down there just supervising, I guess. They don't have...
I can't imagine that Homer would have.
Shovels.
I can't imagine that Homer would have tolerated that because they're so negative towards him all the time.
Yeah.
He's digging his little heart out,
And there's no way out of that hole. They're trapped. There's a hole in my heart as deep as the well they've just dug for that poor little group trapped halfway to hell.
Sure.
I can't get them out, so I'll do the next best thing. I'll
Yell,
get on a
yell.
podcast and pod.
Sure, okay.
Jesus fucking Christ.
All right.
That's what I settled on.
Settled was the right word.
We'll go on TV and sing. Okay. This has been Pods in the Key of Springfield. This was the first recording of 2019. Hopefully, we'll calm down a little bit on the next few.
Yeah, maybe. Oh my god. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Yep. Wizard Wazzle. You can catch us on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on the A Lot of Green podcast network.
Hit the links in the show notes available on your device of choice.
I don't know if I'll put links in the show notes.
I thought you normally put links in the show notes.
Yeah, sometimes. But,
okay.
we're on the A Lot of Green network. A lot of good podcasts on there. The catalog's really building up. There's some cool stuff on there. Thank you for joining us. Wizard Wazzle.
Dig up, stupid.
Bye.
It's been a while since we've recorded.
It's been a while.
Have we recorded?
No, we haven't recorded since late November.
We haven't recorded since the night we did Dungeons and Dragons. Was that our
Yeah.
last recording?
Yeah, we haven't even put that episode up yet.
Yeah, I got a new fridge since then.
Oh, yeah?
It's a black one.
Yes.
I have a black fridge now.
Have you been freezing things in it?
No.
No?
I've got a box of frozen spring rolls in there.
Nick, is your refrigerator running?
Yeah.
Good, okay. Just wanted to make sure.
What? Does that mean it's time to get a new fence? Just mushing together all the shit schoolyard jokes.